Hello guys, my name is Fern. Today we are at the Medan Selera-Bintulu food court to conduct the dilapidation survey. The weather for today is sunny and the time for inspection is 10:30 in the morning. The date for today is 28th of June 2020 and this food court is located at the Jalan Sultan Iskandar, is near to the Sansan Garden. So the equipment used for this dilapidation survey is measuring tape and it is adhered to the Protocol 1 visual inspection only. At the right side of the building, and this is where the first defect is found. The first defect is the fern and the plants grows on the gutter of the roof. The possible causes of this defect is, firstly, the spores of the fern make their way to the roof through the wind, and secondly, the first dropping that contain the seeds that is not fully digested is germinate at the roof. The implication of this defect, if left unattended, is the plant will continue to grow and the gutter will be full of plant. When the gutter is full of plant, the gutter cannot function fully as the root of the plant will block the water and prevent the gutter to divert the water. And lastly, the gutter will be structurally damaged and it will be structurally weak. This will cause the roof gutter to be structurally weak and degraded. So the remedial work for this defect is, firstly, we pour water on the plant to soften the roots and soil. Secondly, we will spray the herbicide to kill the fern and the plants. Thirdly, we will wait for several days after, and then we remove the fern and the plant by using hand pulling method. And lastly, we will remove the roots and the plant and the remaining soil to prevent the fern and the plant to grow again. So the measurement works to prevent this defect to happen is we always remove the branches or debris of the gutter to prevent the growth of the plant. Alright, so we are at in front of store A1 and A2, and the second defect is found here. It is the detached skirting tiles. The measurement of this detached skirting tile is about 2 meters. Possible causes of this defect is because of human causes, because human might accidentally drop something heavy on the skirting tile and causing the skirting tiles to be detached. Secondly, it might be because of the tiles are wear and tear, and some part of the tiles are chipped. It is because dragging of furniture of the machine at the surrounding area causing the skirting tiles to be detached. The implication of this defect is it may cause the uneven surface, so the building user who are using walk by this area might be accidentally fall down. This will cause the aesthetic value to be affected, and the nearby tiles will also be detached. The remedial work for this defect is, firstly, we use the putty knife and hammer to crack the mortar under the tiles. Once the tiles is loosened out, we gently pull it off. Next, we scrape away the mortar on the uneven surface on the tiles itself. Next, we use a trowel to mix the mortar on the surface. After that, we place the tiles on the top of the mortar and ensure each tile is level with each other. If it is not level, we reduce the mortar underneath the tiles. After every tile is placed, we remove the excessive growth by using a damp cloth. So the measurement work to prevent this defect to happen again is we must ensure a high quality of mortar works when we are placing the tiles. And secondly, we must be extra cautious when we are passing by this area. And we also need to prevent the heavy object to be dropping on the tiles to prevent it to be detached again. So now we are at the surau of Medan Selera-Bintulu food court, and this is the place where they get would do. And the defect found in this place is the mold grow on the surface of this area. And the measurement of this defect is about 1.2 meters squared. The possible causes of this defect is due to humidity and moisture, as this place is always wet, as the people are taking note here. The mold is a result of condensation, as the moisture comes into contact with a surface with a lower temperature. The moisture condenses on it. When the moisture condenses on it, the mold starts to form. The implication of this defect, if left untreated, is the mold will grow incredibly quick and affect the aesthetic of the building. And if the mold is left untreated, the mold will release a harmful toxin into the air and affect the health of the building user. So the proposed remedial work for this defect is, firstly, we prepare a solution that contains a chlorine, bleach, and water, and then we spill the solution on the surface that is mold, and we use a stiff brush to scrub off the surface on the mold, and lastly, we rinse thoroughly the surface and keep clean of this surface area. Measurement to prevent this defect to happen again is we need to have a constant cleaning routine at this area and increase the ventilation at this area. The next defect is found in the toilet of Medan Selera food court. It is timber decay and the wood rot. The causes of this defect is due to the biological attack on the wood by the fungus. Fungi lie dormant in the woods for years until the perfect condition appear. The perfect condition are the occurrence of the moisture, oxygen, and the nutrient. Among these three components, the most important component is the moisture. The moisture will appear at the door frame of the toilet is because during the cleaning process, the water is splashed on the door frame. Therefore, the damp condition occur and the timber start to decay. The implication of this defect, if left unattended, is this decay will become more serious. It will decay from the bottom of the door frame until the top. In the long term, it will weaken the whole door structure and eventually leads to the collapse of the door frame and the door. The measure to prevent this defect from occur is we should protect the timber frame from the exposure of the moisture. Next, we can replace the old timber frame with a new pre-treated timber which are more durable. And lastly, we could apply the timber finishes on the surface of the timber frame. It can act as the protection and as a barrier to prevent the moisture from entering the timber. Now we are at the center of this food court, and this is where the fifth defect is found. The defect is the corrosion of steel. As we can see, there is a symptom of orange and brown color appear at the surface. The causes of this defect is the steel column is exposed to the rainwater throughout the years, and the steel exposed to the oxygen and water in the air, causing it to be corroded. The implication of this defect, if left unattended, is it will affect the aesthetic value. Secondly, it will cause the loss in strength of the steel column itself, as this steel column is the main support for the roof. When the steel column is structurally weak, it may cause the collapse of the roof. The remedial work for this defect is, firstly, we peel off the old paint, as the old paint can hold the moisture and allow the rust to happen. After that, when the surface is clean, we paint another new paint as a protective coating. The new paint can act as a protective coating, prevent the steel to be contact directly with the air and the moisture. So the measurement to prevent this defect from happening is we should carry out regular maintenance, and we should remove the rust formed on the surface, and as this is able to halt the rust to occur. Secondly, we should apply the rust resistant coating on the surface of the steel column, prevent the rust to happen.